Welcome to our deep dive on maximizing wealth when marriage, a new baby, and a six-figure windfall all arrive at once. Today we'll translate strong credit, zero consumer debt, and $125,000 in liquid savings into a practical, high ROI plan. We'll compare renting versus buying, map out a freedom fund strategy, factor in childcare costs, and prioritize the smartest next moves, especially investing in human capital through a degree that can double income. Let's get started. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll lay out your current position. Next, we'll reframe the $125,000 as a freedom fund and build allocations. Then, we'll walk through a decision flow on renting versus buying and include the childcare cost reality. After that, we'll move into a 36-month action plan and retirement catch-up tactics. Finally, we'll test your understanding with short quizzes and close with key takeaways and next steps. Quick disclaimer. This content is for education only. It is not personalized financial, legal, or tax advice. Your situation is unique, so consult a licensed professional before making decisions. Let's summarize the starting line. You earn over $240,000 as a household and have $125,000 in liquid savings. You have no consumer credit card debt, an excellent credit score between 760 and 790, and only a $2,000 student loan maintained for credit history. You pay $2,500 in rent and have a baby on the way. This combination creates both opportunity and new obligations. With that foundation, we can design a plan that balances flexibility, growth, and risk management. Here are the most important numbers and concepts. First, the degree creates a potential income increase from around $90,000 to potentially $180,000 to $230,000 or more. Second, childcare can easily range from $1,500 to over $3,000 per month. Third, liquidity and flexibility are valuable. Do not rush into a mortgage just to avoid rent, if that undermines your ability to finish the degree or weather childcare disruptions. Fourth, reframe the $125,000 as a freedom fund dedicated to tuition, living buffer, baby readiness, and a robust emergency reserve. Finally, the $2,000 student loan can be paid off once it has served its credit history purpose. This flowchart walks through the central decision. We begin by evaluating the upside of the degree. If the expected income increase is 100% or more, the highest return path is to invest in the degree now. That branch directs the Freedom Fund into tuition, a 6 to 9 month emergency fund, baby costs, and transition living expenses, maintaining rent for flexibility. If the degree's upside is not compelling, we reassess housing. That path asks whether income is already stable, whether you have a full emergency fund, and whether your debt-to-income ratio is healthy. If yes, then a purchase later may make sense. If not, continue renting and build liquidity. Along both paths, we emphasize childcare costs, flexibility requirements for sick days, and the risk of mistiming interest rates. The two end states are either a hypergrowth path by prioritizing human capital now, or a delayed purchase once income and cash buffers are secure. Think of the $125,000 as a freedom fund with 4 primary jobs. First, set aside 6 to 9 months of core expenses in easily accessible cash to protect against schedule changes and childcare disruptions. Second, fund tuition and fees to accelerate the income jump from the degree. Third, include a transition cushion to handle reduced work hours without stress. Fourth, allocate a baby setup and buffer for gear, medical costs, and the initial childcare ramp. Finally, put a cap on discretionary spending to stop lifestyle creep while your income engine is upgrading. Here is a sample monthly budget to visualize trade-offs. Rent is $2,500, utilities $300, groceries around $800 pre-baby, rising to $950 to $1,050 with a baby. Transportation $600, health insurance and medical $400 pre-baby, increasing to $550 to $650 with a baby. Tuition or degree spending at $1,500 per month while in school. Childcare is $0 pre-baby, then $1,500 on the low scenario and $3,000 on the high scenario. Insurance such as life and disability is around $150 to $200. Retirement contributions are kept at a minimum during the school period to preserve liquidity. Miscellaneous at $600. Freedom Fund savings is $2,000 pre-baby, $1,000 in the low childcare scenario, and potentially $0 in the higher childcare scenario. These numbers are illustrative only. Customize them to your actual take-home pay and benefits. Use these formulas to tailor the plan. Monthly burn equals rent, childcare, utilities, groceries, insurance, transportation, tuition, medical, and miscellaneous. The emergency fund target is monthly burn times 6 to 9 months. A sample freedom fund allocation could assign 40% to emergency reserve, 35% to tuition and fees, 15% to transition living expenses, 5% to baby setup, and 5% to discretionary. To estimate the return on your degree, take new annual income minus current income and divide by the total program cost. Childcare is both expensive and unpredictable. Budget at least $1,500 to $3,000 per month and expect waitlists. The hidden cost is lost work time due to illness or closures. This can destabilize a job or a degree plan if unprepared. Build backup care options and flexible schedules. When you compare scenarios, you may find that completing the degree sooner, with higher long-term earnings, beats dropping to part-time for a short-term savings that delays career growth. Here is a simple timeline. In the first month, freeze lifestyle creep. Measure your true monthly burn and automate bill payments. Within 2 months, build 6 to 9 months of emergency cash in a high-yield savings account. Also within 2 months, pay off the $2,000 student loan once it has served its credit history purpose. Within 3 months, secure childcare and backups and price options. From months 1 to 6, fund tuition directly from the Freedom Fund and optionally reduce work hours. From months 3 to 18, adhere to the budget and avoid new fixed costs, keeping the flexibility of renting. During school, contribute only enough to retirement to capture any employer match. After graduation and once income rises, increase retirement contributions to the maximum and consider a backdoor Roth if eligible. Between years 2 and 3, reassess housing only after the higher income is realized and stable. This pie chart visualizes a sample allocation of the $125,000 Freedom Fund. 40% is dedicated to an emergency reserve, 35% to tuition and fees, 15% to transition living expenses, 5% to baby setup, and 5% to a small discretionary buffer. Adjust these percentages based on your actual monthly burn and program costs. Let's compare renting now versus buying now. Renting provides flexibility for career changes and baby logistics, preserves liquidity for tuition and the emergency fund, avoids transaction and maintenance costs, and makes it easier to pivot if the job or childcare situation changes. Buying now ties up your down payment and reserves, raises fixed costs, reduces flexibility, introduces timing risk on interest rates or changing space needs, and carries an opportunity cost if it slows progress on the degree and the associated income increase. Quiz time. What is likely the highest immediate return on investment for this couple? Option A, buying a house now to stop paying rent. Option B, investing in the degree to double income. Option C, paying off the $2,000 student loan first. Option D, waiting for interest rates to drop before acting. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section. The correct answer is investing in the degree to double income. The potential return on human capital is exceptionally high and can exceed 100% annually, far surpassing the expected short-term benefits from buying a home now. This timeline shows the next 36 months. From now to month 2, you build a full emergency fund, secure childcare, and clear the $2,000 loan. From months 1 through 6, tuition is funded from the Freedom Fund, and work hours may be reduced. From months 6 to 18, you maintain rent and a disciplined budget while advancing the degree. From months 18 to 30, you graduate or pivot roles, your income ramps, and you increase retirement contributions. From months 24 to 36, with income stable and reserves intact, you reassess a home purchase from a position of strength. For retirement catch-up, capture any employer match now. After the income jump, increase contributions to the full retirement plan maximum. If eligible, use a backdoor Roth IRA and consider a mega backdoor Roth if your plan allows after-tax contributions and in-plan conversions. If you have a high-deductible health plan, fund an HSA for its triple tax advantage and treat it like a long-term savings vehicle. If available, use a dependent care FSA to pay childcare with pre-tax dollars. Consider a 529 plan only after your retirement trajectory is secure. Review your asset allocation and consolidate legacy accounts to reduce fees. Finally, prevent lifestyle creep. and increase your savings rate with each raise. Second quiz. When is it most prudent to consider buying a house in this plan? Option A. Immediately to stop renting. Option B. After the income jump is realized and stable, and a full emergency fund is in place. Option C. Only when interest rates fall below 4%. Option D. Right after the baby arrives to lock in more space. Pause the video to choose. We will reveal the answer in the next section. The correct answer is after the income jump is realized and stable, and you maintain a full emergency fund. Prioritizing stability and liquidity first preserves flexibility and reduces the risk of a poorly timed or burdensome purchase. These are your 5 key priorities. First, fund the degree from the Freedom Fund to unlock the higher income. Second, maintain 6 to 9 months of emergency cash. Third, delay home buying until your income is stable and your buffers are complete. Fourth, once income rises, aggressively maximize tax-advantaged accounts and consolidate where possible. Fifth, preserve flexibility because your future income stream is the most valuable asset you control. To close, reframe the $125,000 as a freedom fund that fuels tuition, emergency reserves, baby readiness, and a transition cushion. The degree's return on human capital is likely to surpass near-term housing gains. Childcare costs materially change your budget, so model them conservatively. Renting preserves flexibility during your acceleration phase. After income stabilizes, maximize tax-advantaged accounts and guard against lifestyle creep. Thanks for watching. If this walkthrough helped clarify your path, please like the video, share it with someone who needs a plan, and subscribe for more step-by-step wealth strategies. Drop your questions or your own Freedom Fund allocation in the comments. I'd love to hear how you would structure it.